Last week, against the direction and wishes of the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, 17 House Republicans joined every Democrat in the House to vote for an extension of the Affordable Care Act, enhanced premium tax credits. Last year, 22 million Americans relied on these tax credits to be able to afford their health insurance. But on January 1st, those credits expired because the Republican-controlled Congress refused to extend them.
Senator Dick Durbin is sounding the alarm, and it's a wake-up call that can't be ignored. From the Senate floor, Durbin insists there's no excuse for any further delay in protecting Americans' healthcare and financial security. In these challenging times, when every dollar counts, Congress must act immediately to extend ACA tax credits and regulate the booming cryptocurrency market. Let's start with the ACA tax credits. 17 House Republicans stood with every Democrat to pass an extension. Yet, here we are. Those credits expired on January 1st. Last year, about 22 million Americans used these credits to make health insurance affordable. Now, with those credits gone, many face a dire choice: drop coverage or pay double, even triple for insurance. Families are already juggling skyrocketing grocery prices, rent, utilities, and mortgages. They shouldn't bear the burden of higher healthcare costs too. The House has done its part. Now, the Senate stands as the last hurdle before relief reaches the president's desk. A previous Senate vote didn't make the cut, with just 4 Republicans joining the Democrats.
Because these tax credits have lapsed, millions of Americans are being forced to drop their health insurance or to pay double or triple for their health care plans. Families are already struggling with the expenses they face every single day: grocery prices, electric bills, mortgage payments. We shouldn't add health insurance to that list. The House has done its part. The only barrier to putting a bill on the president's desk is this body, the United States Senate. Last month, Senate Democrats voted to extend its tax credits. 4 Republicans joined us, but we fell short of the 13 we needed to get the job done. Now we have another chance. There is no excuse for further delay. We can act this week before we take a break to avoid this healthcare catastrophe. I've spoken to colleagues on both sides of the aisle who said that they want to make healthcare more affordable. They've spoken to these families. They know the hardship they faced with these premiums. Extending the premium tax credits is the only way to do that immediately.
Senator Durbin calls for bipartisan action this week to avoid a healthcare catastrophe. He urges his colleagues from both sides of the aisle to show unity. Extending the tax credits will lower costs and offer families the peace of mind they desperately need. It's about coverage you can depend on when illness, injury, or emergency hospitalization strikes. Remember to subscribe and stay informed about these crucial political moments. Shifting gears, Senator Durbin stresses the urgent need for cryptocurrency regulation. With crypto valued in the trillions and millions using it monthly, the risks are real. Durbin draws parallels to the ominous lead-up to the 2008 financial crisis. We need strong investor protections, financial stability safeguards, and anti-money laundering rules. He criticizes the deregulation under President Trump. Enforcement actions dropped, consumer protections weakened, and crypto ventures enriched a select few. He's not just talking. Americans have lost hundreds of millions to crypto ATM scams, often senior citizens draining their life savings. Durbin warns against rushing legislation. Congress must learn from past mistakes to prevent future economic disasters.
Let's do it on a bipartisan basis and surprise everybody. We can help provide Americans with the peace of mind that their families need, give them coverage so that if there's a bad diagnosis, an accident, a tough hospitalization, they're covered. Mr. President, on a separate topic, later this week, the Senate Banking and Agriculture Committees plan to mark up and vote on a landmark crypto market structure legislation. While we await the release of the specific bill text, let me be clear. A strong crypto market structure bill must include the following provisions: ensure protection for investors, especially retail consumers. Protect victims from fraud and crypto ATM scams. Strengthen our financial stability. provide strong guardrails against anti-money laundering, and prevent the president and his family from further enriching themselves. In the year 2008, the American people faced the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. This was spurred in large part by risky, subprime mortgages that went belly up. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation has stated that, quote, financial innovation and deregulation contribute to an environment in which the United States and global financial systems became far less stable than in previous decades. In the wake of this, we did something to prevent a future crisis. We passed the Dodd-Frank bill, providing much-needed reforms to the financial system that protected consumers and increased accountability of Wall Street. But it's been 16 years since Dodd-Frank was signed into law, and the financial system in America has changed dramatically. Today, it is the rise of cryptocurrency, a risky, volatile, unpredictable investment that requires meaningful regulation. The crypto industry has wide reach. It is now valued in excess of $4 trillion in 2025. And estimates show that the industry has 40 to 70 million active users each month. Naturally, the crypto industry is calling for rubber stamp regulation of this asset in the name of innovation. Sound familiar? It's the same reasoning the FDIC gave us as the cause for the Great Recession. What does this mean? The next crypto crash could wipe out not just the fat cats, but a lot of working families, just like it did in 2008. But President Trump has failed to put in place common sense guardrails to fend off another market collapse. Since returning to office, financial regulators like the SEC have dropped lawsuits against some of the largest and most dubious crypto companies, creating an environment of unaccountability. President Trump has pushed for deregulation of financial markets, including by taking his chainsaw to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in the name of government efficiency. He's pardoned crypto executives that have allowed funds to flow to terrorists, drug cartels, and cyber criminals, the worst of the worst. And Trump has personally enriched himself to the tune of nearly $1 billion in the first half of 2025 through crypto scams like meme coins. The industry has proven repeatedly that it plays a key role in facilitating fraud. Crypto ATM scams illustrate this perfectly. These scams swindle unsuspecting Americans, usually senior citizens, out of their life savings when they receive phony phone calls telling them that they owe taxes to the Internal Revenue Service or a penalty for missing jury duty. The scammer who calls tells a victim that they can pay what they owe at a crypto ATM machine. They're popping up all over the United States. Little does the victim know that the money they deposit into the crypto ATM is transferred to the criminal's digital wallet. The person putting it in the machine will never see it again. The FBI estimates that in 2025, last year, victims lost more than $333 million to scams facilitated by crypto ATMs. Congress must meaningfully regulate this industry and address these scams. We cannot make the same mistakes we made leading up to 2008. And we cannot expect taxpayers to support a multi-billion-dollar bailout for the crypto industry if there's a crypto crash. Capitulating to the crypto industry and the self-imposed rush to mark up these forthcoming crypto market structure bills comes at a direction of a president who is trying to enrich himself and his family. I wish I didn't have to say that, but it's true. As the Senate Banking and Agriculture Committee consider cryptocurrency, I advise Chairman Scott and Bozeman to work across the aisle to explore proper protection and regulation to the crypto market. Rushing this process is unwise and poses a serious danger to the U.S. financial system. We've been warned. We've lived through this in recent memory. Let's not do it again to unsuspecting victims. I yield the floor.
Senator Durbin delivers a blunt message: Congress must act now. Delaying ACA tax credit extensions will hurt millions, and weak crypto regulation risks another financial crisis. The choices made in the Senate today will determine whether Americans are protected or left to pay the price tomorrow. Act now.